The world of the Elder Scrolls is absolutely huge, mind-bogglingly so. Even a game as big as Skyrim only contains a small chunk of the continent of Tamriel. So when Bethesda announced that the Elder Scrolls Online would contain all of Tamriel, we got pretty excited. But while many locations have been officially confirmed, there are still loads of places from Elder Scrolls lore that haven't been. Here are the 6 we'd most like to see. Oh, and as if I have to make this clear, if we're going to have to pay $15 a month for the privilege of playing the Elder Scrolls Online, that's the equivalent of a standard DLC pack every single month, we're expecting Bethesda to add all of these places entirely for free. Thanks. Right, onwards.
This one is a no-brainer. Shivering Isles was the fantastically imaginative add-on DLC for Oblivion, in which you go to the realm of Sheogorath, the Daedric Prince of Madness. It's split into 2 regions, Mania and Dementia, and it's all a reflection of Sheogorath's fractious mind. Mania is colourful and spectacular, whereas Dementia is dark and foreboding. For a series that traditionally plays its fantasy worlds with a straight bat, particularly in the more recent Oblivion and Skyrim games, Shivering Isles is a refreshing and memorable place to explore. Plus, we'd love to see this cheeky chappy make a return.
Yes? Speaking to me? Well, I'm he. He's me. And others as well. Or they were, weren't they?
Oh, Sheogorath, you really are the living end.
We got a brief, slightly rubbish glimpse of the Soul Cairn in the Dawnguard expansion via a portal in Castle Volkihar. It's the plane of Oblivion where all the souls that you trap in soul gems end up floating about. The result is a bleak environment populated by aimless husks desperately searching for purpose, a bit like a Made in Chelsea rap party. But while we only got a glimpse of this purple purgatory in Dawnguard, we'd love to spend some time learning about the enigmatic Ideal Masters who run the joint. And while we're on the subject of Planes of Oblivion, we wouldn't mind if Moonshadow was in there too. It's described as a giant garden full of roses with a silver city and breathtaking vistas, which makes a nice change from the usual heavy metal album cover stuff that you usually find in other Daedric realms.
Lilmoth is a city down in the southeast of the Black Marsh, which Elder Scrolls fans will recognise as the home of everyone's favourite giant humanoid lizards, the Argonians. Not only have we not had a look at the kind of architecture that giant humanoid lizards would build, egg-shaped buildings maybe, Lilmoth also has a hist tree, one of the sentient plants that are native to the Black Marsh. While there was a smallish hist tree featured in Oblivion, we've not seen one at full scale yet, and this tiny piece of concept art suggests that it could be spectacular, particularly if it was the centrepiece of an entire city. It'd be a crime if the only way to explore Lilmoth was in the low-res Gritto vision of the very first Elder Scrolls game.
Imagine it. One of the oldest buildings in all of Tamriel, a giant cylindrical tower hundreds of meters high dominating the landscape of an island just off high rock. Well, imagine it no longer, because this is what it looks like. Alright, so back when the Elder Scrolls 2 Daggerfall came out, that looked pretty impressive. Looks crap now, but that's why it'd be good to see Direnni Tower in all its glory in the Elder Scrolls Online with its fancy next-gen graphics. Elder Scrolls games have always been about scale, both in terms of the play area and the buildings and geography within them. Just look at the White Gold Tower in Cyrodiil or the Throat of the World Mountain in Skyrim. Direnni Tower deserves to be remembered for the same reasons, not least because that scale goes down as well as up. Apparently the fortress reaches at least as far underground as it does above ground. Oh, and FYI, its previous name, the Adamantine Tower, has nothing to do with Wolverine from X-Men, we checked.
Morrowind has been home to some of the Elder Scrolls' most memorable locations, and there aren't many as cool as Vivec City, built in tribute to Lord Vivec the Poet, one of the 3 immortal god kings of Morrowind. It looks like a sort of alien Venice with its canals, bridges and multi-level buildings, and that's before you even consider the city's Ministry of Truth. It sits on a floating moonlit which Vivec stopped from crashing into the ground and acts as a maximum security prison for political dissidents. Oh, and because we just can't get enough of hovering landmasses, can we also have Umbriel from tie-in novel The Infernal City? It's like a medieval Columbia from Bioshock Infinite, and apparently anyone who gets caught in its shadow dies and comes back as a zombie. Alright, so its first documented appearance occurs well after the events of the Elder Scrolls Online, but maybe it was just out floating over the sea or something.
We already know that Coldharbour is going to play a big role in the Elder Scrolls Online. All-round bad egg Molag Bal is attempting to merge his plane of Oblivion with Nirn, the sort of mortal plane where Tamriel is. What's cool about Coldharbour is that Mologbal has built it as a sort of dark replica of Tamriel, with a lot of the same landmarks, only twisted versions. The one we're most keen to explore is his take on the Imperial Palace and the White Gold Tower. Apparently he's decided to spruce up the place by dousing it in blood and strewing corpses around like scatter cushions. Which is all well and good, but has he considered the feng shui implications? So that was our list, and to be honest it only concerns stuff we can actually show you on a video. There's a place called Piandonia described as a sea jungle with vast plateaus spilling over with vegetation, which sounds amazing. Not to mention the whole other continent of Akavir, which is some 4,200 miles across the sea from Tamriel and is rumoured to have monkey people and serpent men living on it. Serpent men? I know. So, did we miss your favourite location from the Elder Scrolls? Why not let us know in the comments which areas of Tamriel you want to explore with friends. And don't forget to like and hit the subscribe button for more on the Elder Scrolls Online. See you next time!